All right, truth seekers. Tonight we're going to talk about that question that I get asked all the time as a certified UFO investigator and TV personality is, how do I know I've been abducted? And so tonight I'm going to do something special for you. I'm going to open the files I already have. I wrote down all the cases that I have definitely investigated as a UFO investigator. All the 11 different TV shows, Coast to Coast Radio, being featured on Ancient Aliens, the History Channel, Discovery Channel, Gaia, HBO, Amazon, Fox, Tubi, Forbidden Knowledge. All these questions or things that I'm going to talk about tonight is what people have said that has happened to them, whether it's medically, whether it's on their bodies, whether it's in their mind, to let them know that they have been or reported after they've been abducted. And maybe 29 of these, one of them, you don't need but one, may have reached you. And don't ignore this tonight, because if it's a question that you want to answer, then my advice to you is to pay close attention, get your notepad out, everything you can think of, to write it down, because you're going to go back over some of this stuff. I guarantee you're going to go back over some of this stuff to see, have you been abducted? And this is no joke. And then when you see some of these things, you might even look at a family member and go, they don't want to tell you, right? So this is going to give you, like I said, 29 things medically and physically and mentally that have been reported from alien abductions. So I hope you're ready for this one tonight. Like I said, note takers, I'm not going to say are money makers, but today, note takers are going to make their story. And real quickly, we have to give you a little bit of information about what's coming up. But right after this little 30 seconds, just 30 seconds, I'm going to give you something that you can work with.
If you're in Texas or anywhere in the area, you have to be at this event.
Your body and let go of all the things that are outside of this ball.
This is going to be on December the 20th. We'll be doing a lecture talking about decoding the true Christmas story, the one they hid from you. That's the one that's deep, that has to do with your pineal and you being able to manifest your life. Also, we're going to be offering a core access experience where you'll learn how to get into yourself, create a new self, rewrite your DNA, become who you came here to be. This is going to be an amazing time. We'll be with Roderick Martin, Truth versus Authority, Knowledge Beyond Reality event, coming to Texas. And if you're anywhere in the area, you want to make sure you're at this event. We're also going to be offering a special VIP event where you get to hang out with me. We're going to eat together. We're going to talk together, and you can ask questions, and we're going to dig deep, go deeper than you've ever gone before. This is your time to wake up. Don't be asleep. Wake up and get right. It's time for you to celebrate your life.
All right, so 29 different things that abductions related medical anomalies and abductee may have experienced. Maybe you experienced, maybe you're an abductee, maybe you're an alien, because I think a lot of people need to know you just possibly are aliens, at least they consider real aliens, and why not you would be. Now, real quickly, if you are in Dallas and you want to come to that Christmas lecture 4 days before Christmas so that you get it right, then we have the gift that keeps giving. So right here, real quickly, screenshot this. Just 20 people. We got space for 20 people. I want to get everybody we can in that lecture before the Christmas, because I think it's really important. You see that plot of code gift? It's going to give you 50% off. That lecture then would be less than $1 a day for you to get the knowledge of your lifetime. And of course, if you're online watching us, then there's the code DEC20DOC. And I'm going to leave that up I think 2 more days, and then we're going to take it down. But hopefully you see this. It was meant for you, meant for someone else. You in Dallas, you need to come here right there at the DEC network on the outside, the back of the mall, right where we are, the Burleson Coat Factory. So it's on the outside. So if you come to the mall, come all the way back around and look for that little red bird, Suite 20. But anyway, when you get to the event center page, you'll see it. But anyway, it's back there by Burleson Coat Factory. It's over to the left. You come on up the stairs and you will be decoding Christmas. 29 things. Aliens. First of all, do you believe in aliens? Do you believe that there is something else out here, or do you believe that we're the only thing on this planet right now? God made us, and that is it. There is nothing else as walking bipedal as we are. Not even a damn kangaroo, because it does walk, each way. But that's where we got to start first, because some of the things I'm going to tell you, you may then dismiss as maybe I scratched myself, or I don't know, or whatever I did the night before, or maybe I was just dreaming. Maybe is whatever you want to use. But when we get thousands of people that are reporting similar things, then coincidence becomes a mystery. Coincidence become a investigation. Coincidence become a conversation. And then it becomes something else. Because me personally, I don't believe in coincidence. I will say coincidence is God's way of being anonymous. However, this is something. So we're going to go, and some things you might like, what? But I want you to listen to these 29 things specifically, because some you're going to like, it's going to roll off like duck feather water or whatever, because you're like, that's not now. But when you hear the details within the details of just a one thing, then you're going to know. So if you're ready, put ready in the chat. Let me know you're ready. You got your pen and paper out, because I want to give you time to do that. Let me know if you are ready. All right. I see one person got their pen and paper. Good. I appreciate it. At least I know one person is listening to me. Maybe I need to, anyway, it don't take but one. If we just one starfish that we save lives tonight, that's cool. All right. So we got some already. So the first thing up, and we'll discuss each and every one of these, is abnormal blood cells. Now, you're not going to find this out unless you went to the doctor, right? But if you go to the doctor, you're going to find out if you had tested for abnormal blood cells. I'm not saying that could be some tampering, but that's something right there, because it's abnormal. And go to the doctor, and you're feeling, and they're telling you, and they're going to run a bunch of tests, because they always do. They're going to run a test, and then they're going to put it into this computer system. They think they're just doing a file or report. Then it goes to these other back-end agencies, who then gets an alert and say, blah, blah, blah. They're back, is what they're going to be saying on their side. They're back. How you know they're back, Jeff? Well, we got another one of these reports in the hospital of this abnormal blood cells. Oh, okay, but just tell them to make sure the doctor reports to the patient that it's just cophanoma. I'm making up a word, but cophanoma. And then they give you cophanoma, and you go home. I got cophanoma. Whatever. I'm just telling you, they lie. They lie because they want to protect the truth. So that's one, abnormal blood cells. That's number one, and we got 28 left. And some we're going to go into some conversation, because I'm mystified too. I'm not just giving you this and say this is the actual proof of that. I'm giving you a kind of conversation of hundreds and thousands of reports that comes through our organizations that then you can categorize and say, oh, well, wait a minute. This is not an anomaly, right? It's something else. Number two, which I've had people on our show, I got files in here in the station, in the control center. I have people who have reported what I'm about to tell you next. We actually, in fact, I got all the files, and I lost her number, and I had a new phone, and I'm mean, like, hopefully she called back and said, hey, go ahead and, we came in, I filmed it here, and so she had, anyway, number two, if you get implants in your eye, skin, nose, or anus, all right? In this case, I think she had one in her hip or something. And I did the interview, and she gave me the x-rays and all that stuff to report. We did it, filmed it right over here and stuff. So anyway, if you have implants in your eye, now if you got some in your eye, I mean, come on with it, right? You have to know. But if you also under your skin, all right, nose or anus. Now, why would it be in the anus? Well, that's what they call probing when these extraterrestrials and aliens. And if you just here with us on Facebook, we're live streaming on Instagram, I think, or if not, maybe somebody on my team can check my Facebook page. I see the Instagram is up live, but I don't know if I've been trying to get how we can live all of them simultaneously. So if someone can tell me, send me a text and let me know if my Facebook is streaming right about now. Listen, so here's the deal. I know it's a joke, right? Oh man, they probing you in your butts or whatever. Because we talk about that all the time. Everybody like they probing you, and this is not a P. Diddy thing, a P. Diddy. This is real life, folks. Well, that's too. Well, I'm saying this is for a reason. Well, I guess that's for a reason. This is to maybe dissect you. Well, I guess that is too. Well, wherever it is, it hurt. I heard it hurt. Either which way, I'm telling you that these aliens, they probe you in the anus, right? And so you may have this weird feeling. And the only thing, just know that you did not go to a P. Diddy party last night, the night before. It could possibly be on this side of the fence. So maybe that's what I was trying to work to, trying to find the open ground. I was just trying to find the open ground of where we at. But either which way, we could do it. We could do it. All right. So as we continue to go down, so implants in the eyes, skin, nose, and anus. If you have had any of those things, it's a possibility that, now if you got an implant, come on now, please justify that, right? Next would be, and this was kind of weird, but they report, I'm giving you what was reported. I'm telling you, abduction-related medical anomalies and abductees may experience. Now, in men, MEN, mostly diarrhea men. Now, I'm not putting the anal probe and all that together as one, but something about men, they would just suddenly just get this over whatever of diarrhea. And people talk about that, right? In women, it's the opposite. They would get constipation mostly in women. So you got the diarrhea over here in men, constipation. It's like the opposite effect, but we're dealing with the sugar honey iced tea probably, right? And these are common little symptoms that we think we just got over, just came out of nowhere. We just probably think, so if you start thinking that you got constipation and you're a woman mostly, then you might need to go back to the night before and start like, man, when did this constipation come on? Or was it something I ate? I know I didn't eat anything, but then you start thinking about the dream. So it's really important to correlate these things and begin to say, wait a minute, this, something is strange. It's really strange. So diarrhea in men, mostly. Constipation in women, mostly. Real quickly, I got my grammar box over here to the left. If I mispronounce something, blah, 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 you get unlimited uses to go in there and correct it within your mind. Unlimited letter box over here for letters. And always remember, your eyes are useless when your mind is blind, okay? And let me make that more clear. Your eyes are useless when your mind is blind, okay? So next is shoulder pains that comes and goes. Shoulder pains. Now, I can say I would experience that a lot. Now, me being, a person of, stature here, sometimes you're leaning on yourself and that could put you in a bad position in the bed. But since then, I have purchased some gel contour mattresses. I don't care how you lay, it's just going to, you know what I'm saying? So it's not going to have any pressure points. And that's one of the things. I used to have all the shoulder stuff, and there are a few things I'll kind of get in here in a minute and tell you as well. So we're talking about shoulder pain, that lumps and it comes and goes. And these are common things that we will take for granted, but they have all been reported from the military side, civilian side, from abductions related medical anomalies, as well as abductees that may experience. So if you're just joining us, like I said, on any of the other social platforms, I want to thank you from there. So either way, I'm saying these are things that you want to take the note and again, note takers are money makers, right? But we're not making money tonight. We're saving lives. So you go ahead and get this information for yourself. You know what I mean? You get it for yourself. And then you can, kind of go from there. All right. So I am live. Let me turn it down now. Ain't that great? I had to check it myself though, right? That's cool. We're good. So, also another one is lower back pain, 3 vertebrae up. So it's a specific vertebrae that you're going to go up to from the lower lumbar. Now, maybe you get somebody in your family to kind of, put their fingers and you can kind of feel through. But if you have been abducted by some type of extraterrestrial, alien, whatever, being, then this is one of the things that can, and you could have accumulation of few. And we got 29 of these. We still got 20 something, and one of them is going to get your attention. I guarantee you. So stick around for it. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to get to number 18 and be like, I ain't heard nothing yet. And then all of a sudden we call your number at 20 and 22 and you gone. And then you spending the next 6 months trying to figure out what's happening to me. What's happening? Patience, people, patience. Finally, you're going to get some information that you're going to at least investigate for yourself. And there's nothing better than having a personal investigation, because then you will believe whatever you want to believe, however you want to do it. You'll work your way down. But if you come up with some of these things, at least put your hand up here and go like, It's just worth the right? All right, so let me continue. We're talking lower back pain, 3 vertebrae up from the lower lumbar. There's countless of people that I've heard that gets up in the morning and got this mysterious back pain. I mean, maybe if you fall off on a chair leaning over and it flips over, that qualifies, right? You know, we get stories like that, you know, just doing a Zoom call, they just boom. So we do get those kind of stories. And it could count for a related alien thing, right? You know, but you put that in a box by itself, like, that was on you, right? But the aliens, though, when they come, supposedly, people talk about lower back pain, 3 vertebrae up from the lumbar. So I'm not a chiropractor, but you can go figure that out. That's number 6. Number 7, which I at first will say I would qualify, would be knee pain in the dip of the knees under the kneecaps. All the time, I'm sitting here sometimes, and when I stand up, I got to kind of like get it to pop, right? And I've been to the doctor for it, right? And then it was like, you could do this and this and that, and you're going to have this knee replacement. And all of a sudden now, since a few things done, and all of a sudden it's like, it's gone. And for a while, I was having it all the time. Now, I ain't saying that whatever, but knee pain, okay, Roderick, but there's people who probably weigh small as this toothpick, and they have knee replacements. That ain't weight driven. What if it was something else? What if there was something else? What if something was at night taking those cartilages for usage, your cells, and that is an optimum place to get it? It's been reported. That's all I'm saying. People are reporting it. So if you have experienced something like that, then maybe it's something for you to think about. I guarantee you, like I said, when we get to number 29, we're on number 7, there will be people, you know, family, whoever, if they wrote this down, come back and watch this, they're going to say, oh, man, that happened to me, but I don't really believe it. I got an implant in my eye, but I think it's a sharpener of glass or something. That's probably what they would say, right? I'm just saying to you that is, I don't know, but that's probably what they would do. They would just dismiss it as an anomaly that I have an implant in my nose, and it just happens every day, and they just won't believe it. Another thing is, this is more common than anything, and you've probably seen this yourself, it's rashes. Immediately after contact, they may be caused by radiation. This is probably one of the top ones out of this 30. And people get them all the time. And people post them on Facebook all the time. Like, where does this rash come from? Like they've been in some poison ivy patch. But if you look at it, it's closely circular, right? Meaning this is done, right? Whatever the word I'm trying to look for, y'all can figure it out. I don't even want to try to pronounce it. But the whole point I'm saying, this is look like it's done scientifically, and they're talking about rashes. A lot of people just wake up and like, where does this rash come from? Like overnight, like it had all day to grow, fester, and 2 or 3, 1,600 bumps just pop up in unison and go, yeah, party over here and on your arm. And all of a sudden you got a circular, or it was not even, but a circular circle. And the rashes is just like, bam. And then it may be a lot of little ones, because we get that where it's like probe looking things. People investigate this stuff. You may have possibly been checked out by a species that is operating in another dimension. That's it. I mean, this is a prison planet. This is the planet where they do experiments. How did we get here? You can go back to the Anunnaki and all of that. They did tamper with our genes. How did we get here? So it shouldn't be far-fetched that if you wake up in the morning with some test stuff on you, that you might be the one. You might be the one, or one of many, I should say. The other one is number 9 is, let me know if you get anything from this tonight, because I got 20 more to go, and I don't want to waste anybody's time and letting them know they've been abducted by an alien. Maybe they need to go to work in the morning. They don't want this on their mind on a Tuesday morning at work when they just finished, having a good time this past weekend. They don't want to know things like this because they don't believe in aliens anyway, but my body just wake up with all these different things on them every morning, and I just count it to bad sleep. Maybe they don't, but if anybody's getting some value out of here, let me know. I'll look over here and see, and I'll continue. But you see what I'm saying, right? And if anything does come to mind, if something comes, put in the chat, say, hey, this happened to me, so we can help each other. Because I know between 9, some of this has already happened to some people watching. I already know this. All right. And then, so if something come out, you let me know, and we can continue going down the road there. Artery. This one says, oh no, this is a lump and dip of the collarbone at the connection to the neck may cause paralysis or semi-paralysis of the arm or arms. It's like we get up and you got this kind of a numbness thing. You know what I mean? You got this numb, thank y'all for the ones that says keep going. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that one, I really don't know how to explain much more than what it's saying, that the collarbone at the connection of the joints may cause paralysis. Now we can think about sleep paralysis. When we was at our C4 this past weekend, we did a lot of dream interpretations, and for symbolism and things, and of course, people got a lot out of that, this past weekend. And so, maybe this is part of that, but the paralysis in the arm, but sleep paralysis is happening when you sleep. So I guess we can't compare the two. But anyway, once again, 29 things that abductions related medical anomalies as well as abductees may have experienced. I'm Roderick Martin. I want to welcome Truth versus Authority. Hey, we talk about aliens here. We talk about abductions. We talk about reptilians and Anunnaki and of course, secret societies and governments and archons and demonic things that are happening in these other dimensions. So don't be far-fetched to think some of this stuff is not going to reach you. All right, so let me continue. This one is a good one, or the next one. The next one after this one is artery in the wrong place may indicate an arterial implant. All right, so I remember having a surgery about 3 weeks ago or whatever. And they was doing something to one of my arteries, and the lady ended up going in and went down the wrong place. It's like, well, something's supposed to be here or whatever. I don't know. But it was the most painful thing. But it was the artery. Now they laser it off. And so maybe it could happen to you, but they went from the inner thigh down bottom. So that's where if there's going to be any marks, you might want to look there, right? I'm not for sure. I do know that what it's saying here, that the artery in the wrong place may indicate an arterial implant, meaning something got put there. They went in and looking for something on my leg, and it was just like excruciating pain. And they weren't aliens. I was at the doctor's office, right? But what I'm saying is some of these things that happens will probably leave marks, indentations, pain as we continue down the road of 29 abduction-related medical anomalies that abductees may have experienced. This next one is probably is most talked about thing that we talk about in this particular field on YouTube, maybe podcast. And and this is probably, I had a lady that is talking about coming down to speak at the next C4 that's experienced what I'm about to say, but carried it all the way through, so to speak. And this is probably one of those things. So number 11 out of 29 is pregnancy. I've done shows on pregnancy early in my career, not career, but, being here on YouTube about 2 years ago. It was, at that time, one of my most watched videos, and of course, since then I've produced more ones that's watched more. But at that time, that topic was good because at that time, the government was reporting that people were reporting being pregnant, women, by spontaneously pregnancy. Now, they wasn't virgins, most of them. I don't know, but I would assume it wasn't. Maybe okay. I shouldn't be assuming that. But the whole point was, it wasn't through sex that these women were getting pregnant or having. Now, also, there's two different structures of this, and I'll mention this: pregnancy connected with abduction time period. This is a story that I heard. And I won't, I'll mention who she is, once we get all the dates and stuff she's coming down. But this is a story that she mentioned through the being time period of whatever, that there was pregnancy, birth, and this was repeatedly. In this case, pregnancy connected with abduction time period, usually a small fetus. And when they said these small fetuses, was that it would happen in so much of a small time that, however, the extraterrestrial beings were able to come in and take that fetus from the woman and be gone with it and complete it. So obviously, in the other dimension, this baby can go from here to here, what we may call 9 months. It could be within days. It just grows rapid because time is not a conscious thing here, there. But all of them talked about how they felt the fetus and being pregnant. They all talked about that. Okay. And that's, this happens. So obviously they are impregnating, taking a fetus and finishing it up. But whatever it is, they still need the bloodline, the DNA, or whatever the structure from the human host mother. So that tells you, are we not related, or are they just experimenting, right? So that is something for you to continue to think about as you begin to go investigate things yourself. And, and again, we talk about this podcast on Spotify and all this in 126 different countries. So we get emails everywhere. People will say something. Even after this show tonight, they won't put in the chat that one of these things fit the bill, or 2, 3, 4. If you got like 4 or 5 stuff that I'm talking about, just stop it. Just stop the whatever. Stop the cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and go and get you some Tony the Tiger and say, this is great, because it's happening. I would assume 5, 10 of these things, it is just definitely a little more than that. You're an alien. They just checking on you. It just has to be. But either way, let's continue. Yes, the way we perceive it was a miscarriage. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We hear that all the time, that is one of the factors that comes down to this. So once again, we are going through 29 abductions related to medical anomalies to people who have been abducted by extraterrestrial alien beings. Those little green men that people are talking about that's up there in the sky that most people don't think that exist, that do exist. It's just that we just don't think so. Some people just feel that we're here alone on this earth, that nothing else is around. But once again, we got stuff coming from the skies and people coming up missing, civilizations coming up missing. We're supposed to be the 5th generation, now the 5th civilization here. They don't have restart like 4 times before us. All right. The other one is number 12 out of 29. A baby may have an unusual appearance. Now, I got friends next to me, and we always talk about honesty and truth. And I always use this thing, they was like, yeah, you be honest. I said, what if you have a kid with a one eye, it looks like a cyclops? So you're going to tell them it's the most beautiful thing in the world, or are you going to be honest? Now, I'm assuming that when they do this and they have babies that have an unusual appearance, it's going to have a lot of human factors, right? But I know you can look at a young baby and know that this is not the father a little bit, and it ain't the mother. And it ain't even human. We've seen it. We've seen the pictures all over the internet when they first were born, because they haven't really probably that human side of the gene hadn't kicked in. You get what I'm saying? But check it out, though. Check it out, because it is very possible that in a situation like this, that you're going to have that kid, the offspring, especially if they, because what I was told back in the day, and there was a lady named Mary, I forget Mary's last name. But anyway, she used to come on a show a couple of years ago with Barbara Lamb, and she said she had 7 different hybrid kids. The ones that could pass for human would stay here, and the ones who couldn't will be up at the spaceship. And then occasionally they will come and get the mom. And what I've heard recently, they will clone the mother and take the clone up there to where the baby still can have interaction with their mom. But if they cannot pass for human, they take them out. But that don't mean that they have a level of passability, like a score. Like, all right, they can pass for human if they look like this or that. So what if that pregnancy from this alien abduction and the scale of passability was to them 1 to 10%, 100 being or whatever, or, going the other way, and 10% was a threshold. Anything over 10% that aren't really all human, they send it back up. What if it was a 9.8? They go, well, he looks like him. Well, he's got a strange head. Well, that eye, that nose. Well, yeah, half of the tongue maybe be lizard, but it'll pass for human. Go ahead and let it go through. What if the alien who does the quality control had a bad day and let 11 through? And all of a sudden it was born and it looks a little strange. This is happening every day. It's happening every day. And I think that's something we can do. Someone said they can't reproduce, so they take parts from us like pituitary gland. Probably so. And if you start thinking about those cattle mutilations and all those things, somebody is picking us up doing something at some point, right? There is something that they're doing, so I'm not really for sure. But anyway, once again, I'm Roderick Martin, and host of Truth versus Authority podcast, as well as TV personality here with you tonight. This is my podcast. You can find me on YouTube, Truth versus Authority. I know we stream in Instagram and Facebook and YouTube at this time. So you can find me on YouTube and get more of the past content if you like. But tonight we're discussing 29 medical-related anomalies that abductees may experience. And if you've been abducted and one of these 29, if 2 meets your criteria, I want you to go look into it. If 3 reach your criteria, I need you to really, really sit down for a moment. 4, 5, 6. And I'm not saying they happen simultaneously. It could be happening different times. So then that's what makes it weird, right? Like, well, of course I'm on this over here, or this happened throughout the year. But coincidence is one of those things. Number 13, this is really good. A child who is from this mating, who has ESP and is or advanced beyond his or her years. We got a lot of people like that. We got a lot of kids that are walking this planet who will talk the future. We got children right now who are saying things on Instagram and TikTok that they couldn't even possibly have experienced. There are kids that are 3, 5 years old making more sense than whatever his name was, that head dude, the Einstein guy, whatever. They're quoting things and telling you about places and stuff in the world and information that they couldn't even possibly experience. The parents ain't that smart. You get what I'm saying? The whole lineage is not that smart. And this kid is pop up out of nowhere and knows everything almost. He's super whatever, duper. This is reported constantly. And you've seen it. You've seen videos of somebody pointing a camera and the kid's in the back sitting here just saying, we're Earth is not real. It's 6 years old. He ain't say nothing. He ain't talking about Santa Claus. He's not talking about the regular stuff that we hear. He says, Earth is not real. There was a great flood and, a couple of floods. And then they got to weave in the kid stuff because their mind is not really thinking of the real world, but that image that they're getting. So again, if the child has ESP or is in advance beyond his or her years, I guess you could go to the PTA and tell them I made a smart kid and you didn't. You know what I'm saying? I guess you could watch him out there playing. That's my boy. Oh man, He got the brains I never had. Well, what do you think he didn't get them from you? You know what I mean? Just make it make sense. You get what I'm saying? And so accept the fact that there was a creeper. Accept the fact that there's something came in between the two and put something there. Because they do, it's not just a single person, you know, but they can come in between when you think you and him, or her and her, or him and her, you and him, are doing something and you don't produce this. It's a perfect way to make sure my specimen child gets raised right. I'm gonna make sure he has a mother and father, so I'm gonna implant him there. You dig? So it's these possibilities make it a conversation, and you might just say, "Well, no, Roderick, no, my kid's just smart." Yeah, let's check historical information. Let's go back and check your kindergarten records. Crayons. He over here building blocks and engines and stuff. Let's go to your first grade. Messy notes. He over here writing scientific analysis and calculations. Let's move on up to the 7th grade. You got a little smarter. You're now carrying a backpack. He done built him a car. He can drive if he had license. You get what I'm saying? And we don't want to look into the situation. Yeah, they get here for a purpose. That's all I'm saying. So an eyelid, which may contract or roll outwards under stress. We talk about that for the reptilians when we talk about the shape-shifting eye or whatever, but we've seen this before. An eyelid which may contract and roll outwards under stress. I'm sure somebody on here have looked and talked to somebody they knew where, and they was a little stressed out, and you look them in the face and you say, "You look tired. You ain't paying attention to that eyelid rolling." You know what I mean? You're not paying attention to the eyelid rolling, right? You're like, well, you stressed out. And the eyelid just, that's one of the things. Eyelids may contract and roll outwards under stress. That's number 14. We have 15 more left. And if I haven't reached you yet, there's one right here. There's 2 right here. 3. There's 3 I know are going to reach you. Or somebody, and not everybody been abducted. So I'm not saying everybody has, but they do get a lot of people. They do get a lot of people. That's one thing I'll tell you. The other one is the eyes may be able to see through the closed eyelids. People, that happens. You be thinking you go into a place and they're playing a game of I see you. I'm going to close my eyes and tell you what you're doing, how many fingers you holding up. And you sit here and think, oh, you're trying to figure out there's some hidden cameras and mirrors. And that extraterrestrial bloodline allows them to see through those human eyelids closed. And you think, I've been in circuses, I've seen those kind of stuff. Circus is probably one of the best places you're going to meet some of these people because they're moving around. You know, there's not nobody seeing them. And people expect to see something strange at a circus, so they'll just chop it up. You close your eyes and they be telling you, yeah, you just jump left. Oh, you got 4 fingers. Oh, and you thinking, man, you cheating. And they can see through the closed eyelids. What's going on, everyone? You get what I'm saying? So I do want you to know assumption is the mother of all. You got to know this by now. The mother of all of them. F-ups, right? Don't assume nothing. The other part is this should touch 90% of people, and including myself. This was happening a lot. And I know darn well, I can assume when I was married 4 or 5 years ago that there could have been a situation that did that. Now, in my state of singleness and growing, doing what I'm doing, it just shouldn't be no distractions like that. But when you wake up with visual marks on your body, visual marks on your body, and you weren't in the bed with somebody last night who got really spanky with you, or y'all playing not cops and robbers, Bigfoot and lichen and vampires, right? Let's just keep it real. You know, if you ain't in the bed with that person and he's the lichen or she's the lichen today and you the vampire and you waking up with some marks and you've been in by yourself, like really by yourself, like just really by yourself, right? Then that is something for you to think about. That is something for you to give some thoughts, because it is possible, it is very possible, it is highly likely that something is creeping in and there's something happening. Maybe you are struggling and fighting in the dream. Maybe you are not going for the take. Now, if you're in a chat right now, and we do need a spirit of honesty, or not honesty, that's not it. Not even transparent, courage. And you got your username, you anonymous, nobody will know who you are. If you're on Instagram right now, nobody will know. You know, just put it in the chat. Have you woke up, awakened, and there's visual marks on your body, and they're unexplainable to where they came from? Let me know. Just put a number 1 in the chat. Just put 1. Let me know if someone has experienced such a thing. Yeah, there's somebody saying yep now. And, you know, now don't get me wrong. If some of you are married, it's a possibility a husband or did it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, maybe they don't do it as much as they do, but they do. Your wife did it. All right, maybe she had a headache when they went to sleep, but maybe they woke up while you were asleep. You still got to investigate that part, unless you just know it ain't nothing happen like that between y'all. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, for those of you, is there's no one there? Now, I know there's a possibility some people with dogs and cats and stuff may have them in their bed and the cat might scratch or something. But I'm just saying. All right, we got Nursing the Paranormal. My friend says 1. Somebody plead the 5th. So you get what I'm saying, right? These are things for people to think about, because the possibility is very high that this could be happening. And if you just join us, I'm giving you from the report of the people that have reported, you know, abductions and everything, from my background being a certified UFO investigator, TV personality, shows on Coast to Coast Radio, you know, I'll say it again, Amazon Prime, you know, Discovery Plus, Gaia, History Channel, Ancient Aliens, and Fox Tubi. You know, all these places, I've been there as an expert on the subject matter we're talking about right now. So that gives you enough information. At least give you enough information that you're willing to take some of it seriously and go investigate for yourself. However, visual marks, one thing. The next one, scar. Now listen to this close. This is one of these things that you have to take in consideration. What I was trying to say earlier, and I couldn't get the word, but it looked like it's right here. I can use it a little bit. But scars or geometric forms visually present on the body. That's what I was kind of saying earlier to relate to the other part. When you have scars of geometric forms, meaning they are perfectly made, at least if it was someone else in the room with you and scratch you, maybe it's a zigzag. However, let me give you a disclaimer here. I'm talking about what aliens do. I didn't say nothing about those archons and succubus and all these other things that's coming in our rooms and things, or in people's presence at night. They may do a different type of mark. You get what I'm saying? They may do a whole different type of mark. See, we got Nursing the Paranormal saying that, let me put it on the screen. She said triangles. Right there. She said, I used to have triangles. That's every bit of structure, scar. Yeah. Lillian says, I have a scar on my shoulder that I don't know where it came from. You get what I'm saying? Triangles on your body, that is your mate or whoever in the bed with you ain't sitting there sculpting triangles on you. No, that's something that has been able to use this tool or whatever it is to do those things. It's something for you to think about. At least give it the possibility, okay? Number 18 out of 29. This is a little more specific scar, okay? Scars on the back of legs for people born in 1943 seems to indicate skin scraping, i.e. cloning. People born in 1943. This is an old note. So how old would they be today? They would probably be 70-something years old, right? If we do the math. Somebody born in 1843. So some people's grandmothers, mothers have a heck of a story to tell when scars on the back of their legs from people born in 1943 seems to indicate skin scraping, cloning. So they are being cloned. Now, what if we went and found some of these celebrities and people that we're seeing look like doppelgangers, that we go find the other one, or maybe find some autopsy pictures of somebody left in 100 years ago, if they even did that back then, I don't know, and we see scars on them, and yet we see them again. Maybe we just need to look into stuff like that. It's worth thinking about. It's worth having a conversation when you think about those things. At least I think so. It really is. All right, so the next one is, you're not crazy. So if you hear a buzz, beep, or modulated tones in the ear when going to sleep. I know somebody in here, because I hear those conversations all the time when I talk to people. And when I know they're just trying to figure it out, I don't tell them what I think it is. I don't tell them. I don't, because if they're not ready to hear the inevitable, there's no need for you to making them or create another sleepless night for them. Yeah, if they're not ready for it, don't create another sleepless night for them. That's all I'm saying. If they ain't ready to hear it, just don't let them do it. And it gets, like I said, it is as weird as it get, but think about it. Buzzing, hear a buzz, keep or a beep, like beep, and a modulated tones in their ear when going to sleep. Now, don't get me wrong. I would love to sit here and say, well, I heard that, but what are they doing? I don't know. It's time for you to get your dreams interpreted. It's time for you to come to one of our events. If you're in Dallas and we do dreams interpretation as well as alien stuff, as conspiracy, I'm thinking of putting together kind of a small future panel and within. Come and find out. Just ask the question. We get mics, we get all kinds of things. Come and find out. And speaking of that, we're going to have a meeting, and I forget to call Mario, but I know you'll be at work. But I'll be at the event center tomorrow at 11. And if you are wanting to kind of be on a volunteer and help us do some things, you're welcome to show up. And, if you can. If not, then we'll have volunteer things at per day events. But if you want to be a part of the planning, I'll be there tomorrow at 11. Conference room D as in David. All right. So also, when they feel a last breath feeling, it may just be a side effect of an out-of-body experience. How many of you have done that? So 82 years old? Yeah, so that's it. So we get some older people telling those stories, then we got to know that that's a real possibility. So, yeah, that is a real possibility that can be happening. So anyway, number 20 says when they hear the last breath feeling, or when they feel like a last breath feeling, and maybe just a side effect of an out-of-body experience. So a lot of you astral travel. A lot of you do. Have you ever felt that way? It takes some people who said it, they astral travel all the time. Have you ever felt that way? Have you ever felt a last breathing feeling, but maybe just a side effect is saying out of body experience? Anyone? Anybody? Bueller? No. So that, I don't know. And this next one gets a little rough. It gets a little rough. And it's number 21, looks like. It gets a little rough. And it says, shaking of the bed in conjunction with the limbs of their body floating or rising. So you got the shaking of the bed in conjunction with the limbs of the body floating or rising. So the bed is like, and then some people get that dream or they feel that they're being lifted. I'm sure this reaches somebody. And according to what we have here, that we're dealing with possible abduction-related medical anomalies here. And an abduction may have experienced. You may experience that. So Dr. Strange said that shaking of the bed and that lifting, that we see that that depiction in a lot of alien stories, a lot of alien abduction movies, the light and then the body is kind of just being lifted up. So that could be a shared archetype memory or something. I don't know, but it's been reported all the time. All the time. Yeah, so it's been reported all the time. And so have anybody done that, though? Have anybody experienced the shaking of the bed in conjunction with limbs of their body floating and rising? Let me know in the chat. If you're an Instagram, post. If you're on Facebook, give me a post. And have anybody felt that way? Have you experienced it like that, right? It's worth talking about. I think it's worth knowing if that's happening. Now, this is where I like to talk about when we had our small panel this past weekend and people were asking about their dreams and interpretation. And I had someone there on our team that was right there on the money, interpreting their dreams. It was really good. And we're going to do that more often. So geometric symbols seen in the mind. Now, this gets a little thing because often when things are happening in the mind, our conscious minds interfere. See, when you see these symbols, because obviously you're waking now and you're remembering them, your conscious mind is asking a question. It's like, was that real or was it fake? That's what the conscious mind does. The subconscious mind is saying both. It was both. But here's the trick. Usually, if you're going to get these symbols in your mind and all this, and if it came from the dream state, that is your subconscious letting you know, yeah, that was real. Or something happened. That was an abduction. Yeah, you can probably say that. And it's trying to tell you, but that it fights with the conscious mind. So there's a lot of things. We got it coming up in our dreams, but our dreams is where we experience these abductions anyway, right? So they're one of the same, or we think we were dreaming when it had happened. So that happens all the time. So think about that one. But therefore, we also can consider what I'm about to say next, which most people say this is just a natural occurring, not anomaly, but just naturally occurring, even after I've been asleep for 9 hours. That tiredness in the morning after a good night's sleep. Feel as though you are worn out. Sleep learning. Now, I probably can say there's many occasions that I have probably woke up tired in the morning. Now, for me, it don't happen much anymore. I mean, I have my little, I don't snore anymore. I got my little CPAP, right? I put it on, be sleeping good. I love it. I get ready to go to sleep, put it on, turn it on, and gone, sleep. So sleep apnea at the time, if you don't get enough sleep during the day, yeah, you're going to feel like a train wreck or at night, right? In the mornings. You get what I'm saying? But I'm saying now you done been sleeping, because I know some of y'all like sleep. Like, and I'm trying to catch up with some of them. Like, I'll be like, what time you get up every day? I said, when I finish sleeping. That's one job I'm going to do. But I know some people get their rest. They go to bed soon as the sun go down. Some people are asleep. I got a brother, he go to bed at 9. Now, of course, he wakes up at 2 or 3 in the morning. And I got another buddy in Oklahoma. He goes to bed with the roosters. When the roosters start coming in, he have a farm. When they all start coming in to go to bed, he goes to bed. So, but if he sleep like he does, but sometimes he does call early in the morning. He's like, man, I'm still tired. I'm gonna let him know, did you get abducted last night? It's a question. It's just a question, to ask yourself to see if that was going on. All right. Another part is out of body experience. Now, we're not saying feeling like one, but you actually had one. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going on every night with a lot of people. There's people having out-of-body experience just as they were going through the drive-through in a billion serve at McDonald's. And they get up in the morning, go to work, tell people, like, in some cases don't share it with nobody because it's just a normal thing and they think they're crazy. There's people being zapped up in the middle of the night, taking places, brought places, come back, shown things, and come back and probably sometimes given the recipe to save the world, and they don't use it because they believe it was just a dream. That is what's happening in our community. This is why we do what we do with our C4s and in our events here in Dallas, because it's time to bring people's minds that some of this stuff is just so happening. That you're not crazy. And what you saw last night did happen. And what's been seen at night possibly is happening. All that stuff on your body possibly means something. All of the dreams that you have, you got babies somewhere else that don't look like the little ones you got over here, could possibly be happening. Absolutely. We need to create a place where you can share that happening to you, because at this point, people just they're keeping it within themselves, and it hurts. It hurts. It hurts a lot of people to not have someone to talk to about stuff like this. It really hurts. But that has come to an end. You can come to our places and be able to do that. So let's go. Suddenly, now this is even better. We talked about the kids earlier, but what if you have suddenly developed ESP? Some of you might say, I have now awakened my empathetic, or is that the word I'm looking for? Maybe an empath or psychic or whatever. Maybe I've awakened that in me. But if it's something you never had and all of a sudden it's just turned on, it could have been a switch. Something could have switched it on for you. So out of body experience, and then suddenly ESP out of nowhere. It could be. It's worth you backtracking and asking yourself, where that situation come from. You get what I'm saying? So I think all that stuff makes a lot of sense for us to give it some thought, is all what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I'm just trying to say. All right, so we got about 5 really good ones, and then we'll have a little more discussion. We got about 5 more good ones and a little more discussion. So real quickly, for those of you, once again, in Dallas, I have a gift, and I think for 20 people, it looked like 2 people are already taken it, so 18 left. Gift for you. I want you to show up to live in person at the DEC at the old Red Bear Mall, but come to the back next to Burleson on the outside. not on the inside of the mall. It used to be there, but it's if the whatever you get an Uber, it drops you off on the outside. We're in the back. There's the back entrance, buildings. There's the workman's comp, and then the big red bird, and it's the DEC, and then you got Burlington Coat Factory. Come in there Saturday, 12 to 2, and hear the lecture. Doc B, never been in Dallas, come and meet him personally. It's just kind of a small room. We all can just kind of get together. Then maybe you might want to stay for the other lecture or not lecture, but the sound experience and maybe the VIP dinner, which we're limited there. We probably got 6-7 tickets left that. But the gift is to get you in that room. And so therefore, I'm going to play the commercial, and then I'm going to give you a coupon. And even for those of you who want to watch it online, it's only going to be up for like 2 days, and then I have to take it down. So they give you time to give it some thought. But let me play again the commercial, so to speak, and then we'll keep going. I got 5 more, and then we're going to get into some deep talk, okay?
If you're in Texas or anywhere in the area, you have to be at this event.
Your body and let go of all the things that are outside of this ball.
This is going to be on December the 20th. We'll be doing a lecture talking about decoding the true Christmas story, the one they hid from you. That's the one that's deep, that has to do with your pineal and you being able to manifest your life. Also, we're going to be offering a core access experience where you'll learn how to get into yourself, create a new self, rewrite your DNA, become who you came here to be. This is going to be an amazing time. We'll be with Roderick Martin, Truth versus Authority, Knowledge Beyond Reality event, coming to Texas. And if you're anywhere in the area, you want to make sure you're at this event. We're also going to be offering a special VIP event where you get to hang out with me. We're going to eat together. We're going to talk together, and you can ask questions, and we're going to dig deep, go deeper than you've ever gone before. This is your time to wake up. Don't be asleep. Wake up and get right. It's time for you to celebrate your life.
All right. So once again, my gift to you, real quickly, screenshot this, and then we're going to continue our conversation because I got some good ones, and we got a lot of discussion that we're going to be going next as well. So anyway, screenshot this right now. 20 people, apply the code GIFT when you go there online. It'll give you 50% off. And we're talking less than $1 a day if you're going to send that thing. So you can grasp if you're going to come to see us tomorrow. And then the live stream code DEC20. Go ahead and make sure you crop this, screen save it, then we can do what we're doing, okay? All right, I just want you to know. All right, let's go back to what we're doing. All right, so at this point, let me take this down. All right, so let's continue. And then we'll have a really deeper even discussion. This is called a RINEC, enzyme to the brain, new development. I don't really know what a RINEC is. Maybe somebody can kind of look it up and we can kind of see what it is collectively. But it's saying that it's some type of enzyme to the brain. So I would assume that you probably need to be in a medical facility for them to find it, see it, or whatever. But it's called RINEC, RINEC. It's like an enzyme to the brain is what it's saying. So, like I said, maybe we need to look it up. I'm not going to go into that in detail because I can't even tell you what that is. I guess I could Google it or something, but I don't know what a RINEC is. And so if it's something that you have experienced, then I think it's something you might want to go, just go check it out. I mean, it's what it would be. Like I said, I have no clue. Another one is extra vertebrae in the neck. Now, when we start talking back then about people that were RH negative, and there was a lot of different things, there was people that we was talking about have this vertebrae. Oh, so we have Dijon on Instagram. Yes, brother, I remember being in a vehicle accident and looking at myself, and then I woke up in the ER with a serious head injury due to us rolling down the hill. So he was probably responding. I'm seeing it late, but on Instagram, but he was probably responding to something we was talking about. But anyway, I apologize for not catching it in real time. Dijon Thomas is the name. Sorry. Yeah, so we're live streaming Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube simultaneously. So that's where they come from. But an extra vertebrate, a lot of people who were RH negative blood, different things, they all reported at some point having some type of extra vertebrate somewhere, or not all of them, but you know, there was many cases of people talking about that. So just kind of know that. One of the next ones is an egg sized lump on the bottom rib. So there's like an egg sized lump on the bottom rib. If you ever experienced that, put it in the chat. Some type of egg sized lump on the bottom rib. So if you just join us, we're talking about 29 abduction related medical anomalies an abductee that may experience. So if you ever or heard people, and this comes from a bunch of cases and hundreds of reports, and it's just all been consolidated to these 29 anomalies that all people or all of these were leading down the road to a possible alien abduction. So if you just join us, make sure you go back. We're talking 29. This is 28. The egg-sized lump on the bottom rib is number 28. And then there's a J. Sale said, I had a vibration on my, let me put it on the screen. I can do that for YouTube here. I had a vibration on my body, buzzing, but not being able to move, in instant sleep. Yeah. You know, when you, like I said, when we get these weird things, I think this is where a lot of people don't pay attention to things that are just not normal, and begin to, talk to themselves in the mind, but like, what just happened? What is this? And you got to remember the conscious mind is going to fight anything. But you really got to know that if something came out of the dream state or unconscious state that you were, that is a possibility, because remember, that's where it all going to come from or manifest itself to be realized. So that's worth noting. In fact, it's worth looking into thoroughly to say, was that something I was dealing with or not? I would say to you, on any given moment. Number 29 says warts that form geometrical shapes after the examinations appear to be from the same instrument. That probably is when we talk about nursing and paranormal earlier, was showing that, or saying that they had triangles, and it's, eventually those shapes probably came from other stuff. But when you're talking about warts that are just geometrical shape, like I said, you can go on the internet and begin to Google, maybe I was visited at night, different little stuff, and you'll start seeing people with triangle 3 marks, like boom, 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 all these different things on their bodies that couldn't have been done by anyone except for something that, that's looking at them. That, you know what I'm saying? So it could not have been done unless something did it, having said so, right? So those are 29, and I'm going to run through them real quickly. Number 1, 29 abduction-related medical anomalies and abductees that what abductees may experience. Number 1, abnormal blood cells. Number 2, implants in the eye, skin, nose, and anus. Number 3, diarrhea, mostly in the men. Number 4, constipation, mostly in women. Number 5 would be pain that comes and goes. Number 6, lower back pains, 3 vertebrae from the lumbar up or down. Number 7, knee pain that dip into the knee, under the kneecap, by the way. Number 8, rashes immediately after contact may caused by radiation. Number 9, a lump in the dip of the collarbone connecting to the neck may cause paralysis or semi-paralysis of the arms. Number 10, artery in the wrong places may indicate an arterial implant. Number 11, we're talking about pregnancy connected with the abduction time period. Usually it's saying a small fetus. Number 12, a baby may have an unusual appearance. Go figure that one out. Number 13, a child who has ESP or is advanced beyond his years. There's a lot of that out there happening. Number 14, an eyelid, which may contact and roll outwards under stress. Number 15, eyes may be able to see through closed eyelids. 16, visual marks on the body. 17, scars of geometric forms visually presented on the body. Now, another one, which actually had a timeline, which is talking about cloning, was number 18, where they're saying scarring, if you go all the way back to the legs of people born in 1843. So maybe that year something was important, seems to indicate scar scraping, i.e. cloning. Number 19, hear a buzz and more. Number 20, when they feel the last breath feeling and more. Number 21, shaking of the bed, conjunction with limbs and rising. 22, geometric symbols in the mind. We discussed that this past weekend, doing dream analysis time. Tiredness in the morning after a good night's sleep. Feel as though you are worn out in sleeping. Yeah. Sleep learning. A lot of times you wake up, you're worn out because you've been learning. You call it downloads. You may call it downloads, right? You got all these downloads, and then all of a sudden you're just mentally fatigued. And they refer to sleep learning. All right, someone says, I have 51 events per hour with obstructive sleep apnea, astral projection every single night, and I also have sleep paralysis and seizures. Whoa, 51? I don't know if I don't know how many I used to have, but I don't have all that. But yeah, you would think, though, I thought it would be hard to have astral projection when you sleep apnea because you're waking up, right? But if you sleep, unless you sleep in, well, you have to know if you have sleep tested, so yeah, to know how many episodes you're having. But yeah, you would think you would be able to get into it because it's like hard back in when I didn't know to get into a deep sleep because you're waking up, you stop breathing, and you're waking up, right, or whatever. So now, of course, now I'm sleeping like a baby, all the way through. But that is something I would say to think about, though. But yeah, if you having these downloads, then it's a possibility that was part of your invitation. I mean, not invitation, but your abduction. And so imagine how many people every night. So I had a download last night, and maybe you get abducted more than you think. Maybe they just popping in to see you at will. Just flipping on a switch and just zoom through the wall. Maybe you are an alien. Maybe you're a descendant of some of this alien race that could be ruling the world, but then you don't know. Maybe there's an explanation for all of that you may want to investigate to find out for yourself that why am I feeling down low, smart, or whatever's going on. I wake up in the morning and I feel tired because my mind hurt because how did I dream all of this stuff? I don't want to read all that at work. Why am I seeing it now in my dreams? I would say that if you are getting downloads like that and things, and you just, kind of like brushing it off, it's time for you to join our community. If you haven't done it now, it's time for you to come around us in a live space because you may have a purpose in you that you're holding back from humanity. If you're getting all this information and you just chopping it off the books as, man, I just had a big old good download dream, and you're getting it to share, to do something, right? We need you to get into a place where you're comfortable to talk, where it may sound as crazy and outlandish to you, but when you're among a community of people, not to us. We're all learning. We all are trying to just solve the puzzle. And everybody, you know what I'm saying? Just solve the puzzle and provide support for each other on the possibility that we're not, not a possibility. I know we're not here by ourselves. Some people are still trying to get there, right? And they're looking for evidence. And what they want to see is a little green man standing in front of them. But what if they're not look like that? What if we look like them? You got to remember, go all the way back. We may look like them. And if they are part of our creation source, so to speak, then we will carry that smart, intelligent DNA. Maybe it's suppressed. Maybe somebody got it hidden so we can't assume and understand what it is. Just, I don't know. I mean, there's all kind of scams and stuff to keeping us from remembering who we are, and for very reason that they don't want you to know. That's what I'm talking about. Why, this is happening at some point. So again, I just want you to think about all of those things. We're here already over an hour. I'll be back tomorrow on Forbidden Knowledge. So I'll kind of go over this. I'm going to add a little bit to this, and I'll get in more depth tomorrow at 8 o'clock. And then more likely we'll be back here. I'm going to try to do a daytime stream Wednesday. There's a conspiracy I want to talk about. And then Thursday. And then Friday, I'll pick up Doc B from the airport and we'll hang out a little bit, Friday evening. And, and just rolling with the homies. And then, whatever you do decide from there. Okay? We're going to do that. Start looking deep within. Okay, I agree with you 100%. I agree with you. By the way, it is Monday. And if you have not heard the words, I love you, then I want to tell you I love you. And I got a text this morning from a friend, say, I love you today. And I was like, ditto back, All right, cool. We got there. So, but I know there's a lot of people who have not heard the word I love you. And so therefore I want, I love you. And if anybody in the chat want to wish any of these people I love, just put I love you all in the chat. You know how we do it. So that anyone who comes after this video is no longer live and they get to this point, then we want them to know that we love them. It's very important that we know the power of that. Now, I can't tell you how to experience it, what you're going to experience. I've heard me before talk about true love, and I can't wait to experience it. And I put it out there in the ethos. One day I woke up and realized I'm experiencing it by building a community. You got to love everybody where they are. You got to love everybody for where and who they are. And maybe that's the experience. I'll be a little more specific next time. Be like, cuddle buddle type. But at the end of the day, the universe and your mind, all it knows is the overall. But I'm enjoying it. I get to learn a little more about myself and everything else. But the main thing is love. Love. Robert said, love the show. Man, appreciate it. Yeah, and the main thing is love. When we're going to start filming some of the C4s, panels and stuff, I don't know how I can stream them live, but I'll, eventually, for those of you out of place, you can kind of see some of them and everything. So, I'm just ready for that. But anyway, love you, and hopefully, if you didn't hear it, it reaches you like it's supposed to. Now, with that being said, if you have at any point of any of these 29 abductions, if you think you have been, abducted by an alien and you don't know you have, go back over this video because there's 29 things. And like I said, being a certified UFO investigator, being TV personality on 11 different TV shows, Bigfoot 1, Bigfoot 2. I've been on Amazon. I've been on Fox 2B, Gaia. I'm a brand ambassador for Gaia, as well as Discovery Channel, History Channel, Apple TV, Prime, and the list goes on. And it's all about this subject matter. They wouldn't be paying me if I didn't know. Even giving it to you in a rudimentary way, just the most simplest form. You're an alien? Maybe not. But if you got scars and scratches and things that's undeniable, then your logic should be undeniable. You should be looking at it a certain way. No ifs, ands, and buts. No ifs, ands, and buts. Yeah. Someone says, One Faking It Joy LLC. But that's a long name. Is it One Alpha? Or no, it looks like faking over here. Oh, faking. Or someone said my blood is O negative. Welcome to Earth. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Welcome to Earth. Yeah. So again, if you're just joining us and stuff on Facebook, Instagram, or maybe you joined us on YouTube as well. Again, I want to just thank you. Like I said, this is one of these topics that we can go on forever and asking questions about. Have I been abducted or do the thing you need to know is that they're here. Okay. Oh, Just Joy, what's going on? How you doing? Welcome. The thing you need to know is they're here. They are here and they come here. They've been coming here a long time. And who is they? Extraterrestrial. People that don't belong here, don't live here. They've been coming here. There was a treaty made a long time ago that's saying they can abduct you at will. And our peeps let them do it. Long as they stay on a certain number, they can take as many people they want. Long as they supposedly, I read that long as they wipe our minds, they can do it as many as they want. It's a deal made. And then you know what we can do to stop it. And like I said, they've been here a long time. It's not nothing new. It's not nothing. In fact, it's not nothing to be feared either. I mean, I know there's inclusion and exclusion. There's some people may be sitting here going, well, why not me? I'm special. Why don't they come and take me? Maybe you're part grasshopper and you seeing grasshoppers and they taking you at night. Anything is possible these days because we just got so much strangeness now, high strangeness to be exact. You can't put nothing past nothing. This reality that we have, this reality that we see, this holographic stuff, this program probably. And when we think of program, people think I'm talking about a computer. We're just saying this simulation that we're all experiencing and all this. Yeah. Something could be here. You get what, and so we have to think about it that maybe not just aliens visiting you. If you got paranormal, you got entities, you got deities, archons, they're just fairies, ghosts. Maybe you talking about that. Shapeshifters, dimensional places. When you start getting all these reports and all these people are talking about all these things and stuff that are visiting them or it's possibility, it just make you know that, man, there's a lot of worse stuff can happen and be like, man, I hate to go to work tomorrow. What? Love to go to work. I ain't saying enjoy it, but just go because there's an alternatives here. There's a lot of alternatives to what is going on and what is happening because obviously that there are so many anomalies out here. So out of these 29 things, it could be more. It could be a lot more. It could be a lot more on here. You know what I mean? A lot more. Yeah. That's all I'm saying to you. It's worth noting that there's a lot of things happening out there. A lot. So we just have to then decide on what is going on, you know? We have to decide what, is it true that something is visiting all of us or have? That's all I'm saying that people got to do. So I'm just rambling is the word on about that. But people, we got to start talking about it. People got to come forward. People got to start talking. It's okay. You're not crazy. We need to just get a board in one of our community events and put it up there and just write down everything that people are experiencing and start connecting dots. Maybe we should. Maybe that's an idea I need to think about. A conspiracy board and an experience board. I was looking for a pen. I don't have my thing. Maybe Maya can write those down. 2 ideas, a conspiracy board and a pen, like a dry erase board. And we just write down what everybody say and see if any of them connects. What the little gray ones are called, because there were like zeta reticulars or something, or what? They have a lot of names. There's a lot of grays out there. Tall grays, short grays, zeta reticular type looking grays. They come in all fashions, forms and colors, or not colors, but the grays, but different size and big eyes, little eyes, big head, no nose, no mouth. They come in all formulas. But we're just talking about people in the communities that don't want to talk, because there's a lot of reasons that people won't share these experiences. And one being ridicule, especially in my community, community of color, that they're just not talking about it. We get a lot of, a few people. If you go to TikTok and you see 20 videos, it's most likely somebody said, well, everybody's talking about it, but that's not true. Not out of 5 billion. I'm seeing a bigger ratio of people in our community is not sharing their dreams, their night experiences, because they just don't think nobody will believe them. And particularly, they don't even believe them themselves, because they just don't want to deal with that. They don't want to deal with the hypocrisy of people like you all. Not hypocrisy is a different word, but they don't want to deal with the ridicule. People ridiculing them that's not possible. That's not, what you're having, or something like that. And then it puts you in a good state of mind, because sometimes they want to talk to the person that they love the most and share that experience. And sometimes they can't do it. Somebody talking about colored. So what happens is I'll teach you something to use. It's called I Believe You Believe. And this will help you out a lot of situations on both sides, men, women, or whatever. If someone in your camp is telling you, hey, I saw a little gray man over there behind the dumpster, and you over there peeking like, I don't see it, bro. He said, no, it's there. You see the rainbow and all, they'd be like, no, I don't see none of that. And see, usually our ego steps in, and not to be personal, but not to be supported, not to be having somebody's back. Our ego come in because you don't want to look stupid. You don't have to look stupid going on the search for somebody else's stupid idea. You can show support. So what I want you to say is, baby, I believe you believe that there is a little gray man over there behind the dumpster. Because I support you, baby, let's go see it. You see how easy that was? But what they heard was that you believe them. But you did say, I believe you believe. So when you hear somebody, their dreams or whatever, and you can't see it, don't shoot it down. Don't be like you are different. You got to see it. The only way you can see it so you can understand it. No, don't do that. You don't have to. Here's your line. You look at them and say, I don't see the dream that you have, but I do believe you, so let's go. I'll support you. I don't see that outcome yet. That's totally honest. But you just don't say the outcome. Just say, I believe you believe in that dream. So I got your back. And I'm saying those are things that you can do. Those are things that you can do to support people that are having these strange occurrences, these mysteries, and all of these things that are happening that they don't know what's happening to them, and they're unexplainable. You can't expect for them to explain. Well, tell me what it looked like. And they start giving you like little shades of it, and then you're like, nah, you didn't see nothing. I'm telling you that there are alien races here. And they've been here before we got here. And they was here when whoever decided to create this Neanderthal type human before we got here this way. And they was here and they said, let's splice these genes. They was here. The greatness of my guy, Jordan Maxwell, I always like to play his video. They're here. Listen to this.
harmony. I think we're being set up for something very serious and very big by some very powerful secret societies that very well could have extraterrestrial or otherworld intelligence guiding it. All over the world, we have accepted the authority as truth rather than truth as the authority.
We have accepted truth as the authority, or so to speak. Authority is truth, he was saying, instead of truth. I created this show, the name, the trademark is live, before I even found and saw that clip. I created Truth versus Authority, not only that, for that very reason, because people think just because it's authority, it's truth. And that was when I was at a or conscious level about this. And then when I started going deeper and growing, then I realized the authority is the mind that they're after. When they can start controlling the mind and making you believe or don't believe, cognitive dissonance kicks in and all these different things, then it's very difficult to even live in this space by at least recognizing some of the experiences that you're having. It's difficult. And then they can tune your mind to not believe something and still tinker with you for the rest of your life. They got you. And all you have to do, not really, but when you decide to just believe a little bit, just believe that dream you had, it may be worth listening or looking into. Just believe when one of your friends are talking and start scratching their arm and you say, let me take a look at that. And then you refer back to this video and then you hear and see a lot of these things that I was talking about. And then you be like, oh, golly, you may have been an alien or an abduction. And now you send them on another knowledge path. Just believe a little bit. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Just believe a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's like we have to make that decision and say those are the things. Now, for those of you on here tonight that are not in here, this Saturday, Doc B is going to be talking about Christmas, and you can go and watch that webinar. You can watch us live this Saturday, 2 hours of us talking about decoding Christmas. Everybody in here should be having a ticket. Everybody who's a conspiracy theorist and who want the truth at the time of the year that we all get sucked in should be watching that live stream. And the code I just gave makes it almost less than $1 a day. You know, I'm using that so I don't have to say the number out loud here on the air, but you get the point, right? Everyone in here should be interested in truth. In truth. If you're able to get you a purchase to do it, then it means that you should be getting the truth. Use it. I tell people all the time, we spend so much time trying to get the how to do this and how to do. Now we need to learn spiritual protection. Get the spiritual protection, because if they can continue to do the same game, it doesn't matter what you got in your head. They're manipulating what they can and do. Start with things that we see every day. Start with things that are generational. This is the year that you've been programmed like I have as a kid and all this. Why not find out the truth? Why not find out the truth? And go on there. Let me put that on the thing right here. Right there. Get your info. And if you don't need a coupon, don't worry about it. If you do, then get it. And it's DEC 20 DOC. That if you online. If you're here locally, gift, GIFT, that's half off. You come in there live, Doc B in Dallas, live for that gift that I just put up there. To come and hear him face up and tell you decoding things that he never told before, things that you want to hear. If it's not that important that one of the biggest days of the year is one of the most manipulative times ever recorded in history, almost. And it's not strange to you to want to learn. Is it not strange to you to want to learn? It should be. It should be. So right there, that's the code DEC20 dot. And if you in live, screenshot it so I can come back with y'all. I'm going to count down from 15, 14, 13, 12, screenshot it, 10, 9, screenshot it, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so you should have it on your screenshot, and then you can refer back to the code, but you should be support. In fact, you should support us for getting it. It takes a lot to get these people together and not convince, but say, hey, let's put some of your stuff out here. I try to do the best I can for people who are not in Dallas, but we're going to need everybody's support, though. The numbers do make a difference. The numbers make a difference. Just support it. And, and you get this reciprocity for you. Merry Christmas. You're going to get the truth. Right now, we got enough of you right now. 10 of you can do that right now. Go ahead. Get online with us. And, and you'll hear him the code Christmas. And then those who present, then we have in the sound immersive, this is a new year. Then we're going to have Billy coming down pretty soon. All of this stuff is going to line up. And by the end of the year, all these people that comes to Dallas, in part, some of it we may stream and may not. Your life is going to change. It is time for it to change. And if you can do it personal, I don't think people understand what personal is. You can hear and be and ask things that you couldn't do anyway. You might have that one question that you need to ask one of these people. This has not been happening. They've never been to Dallas for, none of them, well, they come, they don't speak here. We're doing it. We're putting something together that has never been done before, and the expectations of what it is. And I do my best to try to make sure everybody's accommodated. But now it's like, let me just tell you, it's like we're in a world of, we supposed to just tell people everything. We supposed to risk our lives and my families and everything else and tell a truth out here that'll get me unalived or whatever. And then they just tell us. And I can say, well, I'll tell you in person. You know how many people take me up on that offer? Well, yeah, the silencers would. How much is your life and what you're going through is worth you having the understanding and the truth is what I'm talking about. Not a rumor, nothing else. I still don't understand as much as I can. I still don't understand. It's homeboy talking about we got 85 people in here, nothing in the chat. Yeah. I mean, it's like people, not that people are memorized. I get what you're saying. Towards that they've been all kidnapped. I'm just telling people now. Let me tell you. Let me give you a warning, okay? And then y'all can get away from here when I say what I say. Let me give you a warning. Something that I am particularly fearful of, and there's not a lot of things that gets me. There is a list of things, but not in a way. And it's not the kind of fear where I'm shaking in the boots. It's fear of they're going to catch some people off guard, and they're already doing it. The things that people should be studying now, again, is getting information that will deprogram your mind. They will you need something that's going to deprogram your mind. You don't need how to do Bitcoin. You're going to use that, to build, stuff. But you can have all that knowledge in the world and they're going to distort it. It won't make sense after the teaching anyway. To start messing with the mind, to get permission to mess with the mind, to mess with truth, to get permission to mess with truth, you start effing up people's reality. That's problem, reaction, solution. It's one of the greatest ways to do it. A narcissist, all these people, even kids know how to do this. The first thing they do is mess up your reality. They distort your authority of what you think you see. How are they doing it already? And it's working flawlessly. They came out with where you can create a video. At first, They watermarked the video. You can see it. Yeah, they watermarked it. So you at least know it was fake. Then they somehow let that slip through the cracks. Now you got dogs setting people. People looks like real. Nothing looks real. They doing it on purpose. Because if they can distort your reality, then you might be like, well, what does it have to do with Christmas? Well, it's all the same tools. But if you don't decode one of the most greatest engraved doctrines in you, it is hard to disconnect from what's layered on top of it. Very hard. And now that they are making these fake videos, everybody's producing them. And please watch what I'm saying to you. In months to come, it's going to be an outcry of people saying, we don't know what's real. It's going to just watch. Please put money on that. It may be a year or whatever, but it will be a global execution of people saying, kill this fake stuff. I don't know what's real anymore. I just sent my money to a baby that got ran over by a truck. And all of a sudden they get up walking because I didn't see the last of the clip. I don't know what's real. That's what you're going to be saying because it's perfectly being executed right now, the plan. And what then what we're going to do, they're going to offer us a solution of identity, and all this kind of stuff, verifications. And people are going to buy in it because I want to know what's real. But let me point this idea to you that I knew was coming, and that is why I really, really started real community touch Philly events. There's no fakeness, and when you come in, we are there because they're going to distort it. Some of this stuff you're going to see online, you're not going to know the truth. You're not going to know the truth. It's that good. There's AI stuff like whatever the company ain't giving them promo. They don't, do my show, but you can go and put you're in there. I can put myself in there and I'm talking Spanish to you. I don't care what country you're in. You can be an alien zebra. And then if I want to speak zebra to you and tell you, hey, babe, I want to take you out in zebra language, and they'll change it. You'll be like, damn, he talks zebra. Damn sure do. Because it's that easy. So when they come out with these things that they're messing with our minds, they're messing with your eyes. You get what I'm saying? You are seeing it. You are seeing the fake videos look so real that they're real and inspiring. And then you run the mindset that, okay, I can see it to believe. You know how many people walk around me now? Be like, I got my inner circle folks. Man, we already know they can mess with this stuff. I'm an alien, but not a zebra. You see what I'm saying? There's people on this thing tonight that is going to go and get adopted or initiated in the Christmas stuff. They're doing it now. Your family's going to do. I'm not saying don't celebrate or do whatever, but at least know the truth of what you done got yourself into. And how they twisted things, what the tree mean, what the real Santa mean, all of the stuff. Get the real story and where it originated from. Get the real story. And then it may be better for you once you go down this pipeline. So again, you have no excuse. It ain't $50. It ain't $40 now. If you stay in another side of this planet, this Saturday, you can decode Christmas. Now, okay, you may be in a country who don't do it, but at least have the knowledge you got American friends. I don't know where Christmas is. It's all over the place, right? Maybe there's one place it's not happening. But you can do that. And you support the channel. And you support the legacy of what we're doing. Maybe all that helps at some point. And maybe not. But it should. Maybe all of that helps. I'm just saying, if you're in Dallas, you should be there. We having so many good spiritual protection moments now and getting bigger and bigger at it. People are going to get left behind because they don't know it. They don't think it's real. That's all I can tell you. And the reason you don't think it's real because they messing with your head, even with fake videos and all this stuff. Authenticity, that's the word I'm trying to say, and I may have butchered up, is going to be the truth. That's what we're creating here with our community. We're authentic. You can touch it. You can see it, respond, talk, cry, hug, whatever. You ain't doing that. This stuff is fake. AI is talking to us. And all of it's in the mind. It's all in the mind. It's all. Anybody can tell me that that's not happening. I don't know what to tell you. It's happening in real time. So family, friends, supporters. It's nothing I can say. This was planned perfectly. It was planned for that day for a reason. There's some stuff he's going to share. This is planned. And if you don't know, even if you don't know, the curiosity of knowing that stuff is worth the price of admission. And I'm harping on it. Yeah, we want to get more of you there, for sure. Even the price of admission is there. You know? It doesn't, and it's not everybody's job to I don't know. I don't know why more people just don't want truth. They want stuff. Maybe they say knowledge, but if it's going to be truth, that cognitive dissonance, it changes up. I have no clue. Yeah. Robots. Yeah. I have a shirt. I don't have it on our thing, but I have a special shirt, and not one person bought it yet. It's got with the 7 chakras on it. It's got a guy, and then the shirt says the title of the shirt says you can't grow spiritually, learning religiously. That shirt been up, and not one person bought it. Now I'm not saying it's an ugly shirt, because they didn't understand what I was saying. Probably, you cannot grow spiritually, learning religiously. It just won't work. And some people may not walk into the church, but they are adapting religious terminology and things in his life. Just like, I'm not saying don't celebrate that day with your comrades and that's what they do, but at least you want to be armed with truth. That's all I'm saying, truth. So the thing right there, it's right there. He said, Roderick, let me put it on the screen. Says, Roderick, I don't think it's that people don't want you to say they can't have any truth. People don't want you to say. You saying I need to say it different or what? All right, I got the beard. I look like Santa Claus. However, it get worse than that, though. I mean, I told y'all the story. I had a little kid walk up to me last year, tap me on the stomach and said, "Where my baby do?" So, I don't know what, I looked at his mom, though. Like, he done seen too many pregnancies. He had a bunch of kids. So I'm like, he just, that's all he knows. You know. So I don't know what you're saying, though. I don't think it's that people don't want you to say. Well, but everybody's running around. They all running around like saying this kind of stuff.
Want the truth! Want the truth! Want the truth!
They all running around it. I want the truth. I want the truth. I want the truth. Now, when I tell them, I say it a little bit like this.
You can't handle the truth.
That'd be the way I come off.
You can't handle the truth.
But when they go talk to their friends and family, the ridiculed person says a little bit like this.
You want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
See, that's when it sounds the same, but that person ridicule them. And the other one is saying, dog, you may not want this. So when your family member says,
you want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
That's probably what's happening. So I'm here to tell you, if you're ready for it.
You can't handle the truth.
And if you say you can, come on with it. Come on with it. That's all I'm saying. Come on with it, because that's where it is. Now, I thought I would give a shout out to one of y'all getting y'all ticket tonight, and then I can give you props. You let me know you did. Go to that website right there and pick online. Use DEC 20 doc and watch us online. So I can, and then tell me and I can give you a shout out because you deserve it. You definitely deserve it. You really do. And it makes some people understand that, you know, why do what we do? I don't know. I mean, you're gonna pay for their control mechanism. We all do. You pay for AI, you pay for all this thing. Ordell said, thank you for showing up. Understand those who can see with those who can hear and have remembering to listen. Yeah. Once again, this is one of these things that I think that a lot of us should take in consideration to know. And we do that. You say, say fam. Say fam. Don't ever think nobody listens to you or respect you. But you best to believe I watch you and I am very tuned in. You are the truth and putting up there with the best. You work really hard out here. You know what? Appreciate it. Let me give you the buddy thing. Right there. Yeah. Yeah, you deserve a long one, Petty. Is it Petty? PT 5229. And I'm gonna say fam back. Appreciate it. Because we go in this. I try to do it in such a way where I'm not trying to be all technical. I'm not trying to give you nuts and bolts, and some people want to know the geometric place in the scientific consciousness 526.9.32 frequency. I'm telling you they hear. I'm telling you they visit you in your dreams. I'm telling you you're not crazy. Plain and simple. I'm telling you to investigate the obvious. Investigate if it's something that just don't feel right, look right, coming off, or how did that get there moment? Investigate it. Don't go ask Pootie Poo, who is you already know. They got their head stuck in the monkey bars. You ain't gonna, they don't care. Don't go ask them. They're not the doctor. I'm just saying, do a little investigation, and the doctor's gonna lie too if they're under watch. They're gonna lie too. But what I'm saying is, it should be strong enough for you to begin the observation and like, okay, I'm going to begin looking at this stuff because it's happening and it's real, by the way. In spite of what other people might say, they may say, well, you're crazy. You're not crazy. They just don't comprehend it. And I guarantee you, out of these 29, most of them have had some of the same stuff. And while you're sitting there telling the story, they're going, man, I wonder if I can tell them that happens to me. But the ego is not going to let them do that. And the program is not going to let them reveal. See, wiping the memory is the greatest trick that they ever done. And then and let me say this, and planting a new one furthers their improvement of the trick. And that is going on. Yeah, they can split your mind and put something else there. You would think you grew up in Idaho picking potatoes when you was over here at an orange farm all your life. They can do that. They can do it. Okay, so now I'm getting an explanation. So he says, what I was saying was that people want the truth, but there's that weapon used to create fictitious reality where nothing is true and nothing is real. It's a real task to do your self-work. Absolutely. Thank you for clarification. Let me say that for a minute and say, you're correct. You're correct. Let me tell y'all how I know how deep this goes, what I go through to make sure. You know, in our groups, we began to, this is my mala with my crystals, but this blue is the lapis lazuli crystals. And it's for like I have here for the throat chakra. I make sure that this is my magic wand. I use this my magic wand And it's for me to make sure that you can hear me and I'm speaking, but also I'm listening to your internal and everything so I can make sure, but also I'm saying clear the space that's blocking them from hearing me say the most simplest thing, because the most simplest thing is how they hide it from your conscious mind. You're programmed that this whole stuff is so complicated. The world is so hard. There is this magical combination that once you get it, you figure it out. Life is easier when it could be just as simple as it is. And sometimes we don't see simple. Forrest Gump told you stupid does what stupid does. And it was Forrest Gump. And Bubba Gump Shrimp did good, the movie. But what I'm saying is these are things that you want to know. And see, the greatest thing that I know and started to understand, I'm surrounded by people who understands magic and all of this stuff. I'm surrounded by empathetic people or empathy or whatever they call it, empaths. I'm surrounded by psychics. And I'm not saying surrounded like, oh, they're closing in. I'm talking some of these people are the most gifted people, and they're my friends. They're my counsel on a daily basis. People are into esoteric knowledge, historians, government officials, but my inner closer circle, they're all in. This is understanding their chakras and health and all of these things, because you got to clear out this thing and understand not just your vibration that they're after, your loosh that they're draining you, but we understand that it's all done with this formula. It's all done with equipment and design to make you feel a certain way, and it's all done with traditions, which is what we're talking about this Saturday. I don't even know how to plead with you to tell you 4 days. Do you know how phenomenal it would be if you did get the knowledge to decode Christmas 4 days before Christmas, and then when you sitting around and you seeing everybody falling into the trap, you're going to see different? We're going to confirm your suspicions. You know how powerful that is? Just have the power to see the unseen. And everybody's around, 'tis the season to be jolly, la, la, la. Whatever they're doing, whatever the chimes, whatever the color, because this color is everything. And I'm not saying you don't participate, because you can go walk in there to participate, but you know the truth. You know how many people 4 or 5 days after next week is going to be in that position, and they're going to think back to this moment that they could have understood the truth and begin the new year seeing what they don't need to see. And we're not talking $100. We're not talking $50. We're not talking $40. I'm just saying you can get your online ticket and watch, or come live and feel reality. Yeah, we having other stuff afterwards, but come and see that part. It's for you to see it. That's all I'm telling you. Go to truthversusauthority.org and pick the online. I mean, like I said, it's surprising to me. I know out of 85 people, and I'm saying I can see it in real time. I know out of 100 people, we got bunch over here on Instagram, bunch over here on Facebook, bunch over here. I know out of some of y'all going to go, okay, I understand it's Christmas. You need to spend the $20 on a gift to keep the system going, or understanding protection, mental protection. I'm not talking about you just going to get some information. This is mental protection, and they go hard this time of year, making sure you conform, making sure you keep the programming. They're going hard, and they ain't going to stop. It's going to be after Christmas sales. The day out, they just keep it going. Okay, the money is the seed of the program. The money is the seed of the program. See, y'all know if you talk to me in private, any of y'all come in private, right? And you come and see me in our group outings. I start into this. I'm not going to give you the whole detail, but I don't think we don't need to no longer just learn what they do. I don't want to be the only, I am not the host. You can go to many other people. They're going to spend all this time telling you what they're doing. Look at this symbol. Look at this. I'm saying we're going to learn it, understand it, and we're going to use it. Because if they don't spend all this money, all this scientific knowledge, they don't spend all of this gene manipulation to get 5 billion people to do what they say, and they're bad people. Imagine we get just a nickel of them, not even a penny, a fraction, to buy our new knowledge and convert to truth. The program is the same. So instead of us telling what they're doing, let's learn what they're doing, and we use it for good. Use it for the good is what I'm telling you. And a lot of people is not doing it. So people are not running that particular. Get into our community closely, and the stuff we're sharing, you're going to know, I can't do it over here. You don't tell the plan out here. You can't tell the plan out here. It doesn't work. And I know somebody's mad at, well, why don't you say, well, I say you just want somebody to buy something. Then it's working. The program is working on you. The mental ego part of it is working. Denounce truth, but give them dollars for everything they put in front of us. Everything. And I'm willing to do a, what they call it? What was they doing when they do these things? Challenge, Facebook challenge, or whatever. I'm willing to do a new car challenge. I'm willing, between the now of December 25th and January 10th, that you log and record, screenshot everybody posting a red ribbon with a car. Anybody posting anything with a car. Oh, I want to thank God for this blessing. And just look at them all. I want you to archive it 6 months exactly, come back and see if you scroll through and you start seeing posts that this blessing turned to the bill. See, they start talking about all these bills, and it was a blessing before. And what I'm saying is that the program of the Christmas sparks the archetype, or whatever they're trying to, not archetype, but the consciousness to run the program and to feel that this moment is all jolliful and whatever they're doing with it, and then spurs you to gift outwards by spending money on stuff like that, that they're just lining their pockets. I'm not telling you to you got children that got hopes, man, give them something, but just tell them. Just tell them, all right? And I'm going to get out for here in a second, but you just tell them. And I'm going to put it in more perspective here. See, by the time I got 10, 9, whatever, my mom had Jesus stuff all over the wall. We used to walk up to the church in the corner, up to the corner. And so every church, I'm, folding my hands, I'm looking up to the sky, and I'm praying to who? Man, I want a new bike, help my mom so I can get, this is like, in the summer. God, give us a better house. God, I'm praying up there to, I know you watching me. I was going to get that loaf of bread last night, but I didn't steal it. My brother's cookies, but forgive me for thinking my dad and mom, why did I choose them? We know the system, right? But like they said, bring up a child in whatever, and they'll continue this way. Well, when you were 3 years old, you wasn't going to be able to think of the concept of God and all of that. Not at 3, 5, maybe you're exceptional. So they give you something else. They give you Santa Claus. And then when you're all through elementary and in the least up into elementary, high, going ready, you are now walking around, am I naughty or nice? Somebody's watching me. The same story, by the way. Somebody's watching me and they're looking down on me. So do not, get my classmate's pencil because somebody's watching me. And then when Christmas comes, I'm not going to get any toys because I was naughty. Naughty. Now when we get older, it's heaven and hell. But when you're young, it's naughty or nice. It just builds. When we get older, it's God and all these people up there watching us, so don't make nothing. When we're younger, it's Santa Claus watching me. When we older, it's 12 disciples. When we're younger, it's about 12 reindeers. I don't know how many it is. But you get what I'm trying to say. The story. When we up there is something else, and then down here is something else. I'm saying to you that it's there. Somebody said, it's me, Trevor. I really would like to talk to you. Can I? Where are you located, Trevor? Maybe I forgot now. Where you at, Trevor? Do I need to put my email and then you send me your number and I call? What do you want to do? Maya, you there? Let me see. Maya, if you still here? New York. Oh, we talked before then, haven't we? Have we talked before, right? Yeah, I remember now. Okay. All right. Well, you got my number then. Just text me. And but yeah, so what I'm saying is, yeah, text me. So I'm saying to you that we are programmed with the story. So everybody in here at this point should be on True versus Authority getting the online of Decoded Christmas. And for 2 hours on a Saturday, you gain spiritual protection. Plain and simple. I can't even tell you no more than that. And like I said, yeah, it's discounted online and you're not there. So it's easy for us to give you a gift to do it. And for some of you going to come, you should come live. I'm just telling you, I'll be talking about it in the next few days though, but I mean, don't y'all think the Santa Claus story was strange for a kid? And don't get me wrong, we broke rank whenever, it was hard to buy the presents and stuff, or I wasn't going to buy them 20 presents and then I was going to buy them one. I quickly gave them that the story was false when I was young. I told my kid that Santa Claus ain't real. Daddy is Santa. Because now you want the props because you're buying 2 toys instead of 6. When it was Santa and it's full of stuff, you don't mind for them. You don't mind. When you fill the tree up, you feeling good. They're out there, oh, Santa came down a chimney. And Mom, I saw Santa kissing Santa Claus. What? Who believed that one? They sung a song over there. I just want you to know. But I'm saying the story of the stork. That is the story of a stork. And we perpetuate those stories. We don't perpetuate truth is the word. Y'all got my grammar box. But we pass those stories on. That there's a stork bringing your baby brother down a chimney. And then you don't take notice that your previous baby is over there lighting paper under the chimney. And you think he just learning how to use the fireplace. But you didn't tell him that his competition is coming. You told him the competition is coming down the chimney. You think it's so cute that little fire plug over there is learning how to, and look, honey, he knows to put the paper in the fireplace. Oh, he's going to be smart. He's going to be a barbecuer. He's going to be cooking oxtails and, yeah, boy, I got my kid. No, you told him that whoever it was in your stomach is coming down the chimney in a stork. And he like, I ain't having it. I ain't having it. Whatever it is ain't coming down here. And so he meticulously at a smart age, that ESP stuff we was talking about at the 29 things, go over there, put a piece of paper in the fireplace, start lighting and preparing a fire. And you think it's just picture perfect, that he's just not even thinking this through. Be a kid, he didn't know. He's expecting whatever it is, Santa Claus too. He'll blow it out on Christmas Eve, so Santa Claus will come in, but he sure know whatever his competition is coming out of that thing. Y'all feel what I'm saying, right? I'm just giving you stuff to think about. That's all. I just try to give you things to think about because it's real. This stuff is real. It's high strangeness. It's all I'm saying. It's real and there from there. All right, so let me get a show of hands for our go who at least thinking about hopping online with us Saturday and seeing the Cold Christmas. Let me just see. Who in there? Yeah, let me see anyone. If you are thinking about coming Saturday, or live or online, watch The Code of Christmas. I'll wait here just a little bit, but if you are thinking about coming, come and see us. The website is right there. Just come and see us. Yes, sir. Which part is that? You gonna watch us online or you coming? Which part? I'll see y'all all there. Yeah. Yeah. So make sure Y'all go ahead and do that. All right. So we got at least 3 of y'all will be there. That's good. Or like I said, more of y'all online could be watching online, you know. Y'all should be watching online. I'm online, but I'm on for it. Okay. You got your ticket already? Get your ticket, and then let me give you a shout out. And unless you got it already. But if you haven't, then hit it so I can give you a shout out. Take a few seconds. But I'm saying that, you know, there's a lot of things in this world that we should go. I'm not going to hold you too much longer tonight. I know it's Monday night and you'll be watching. Is Monday night football tonight? I don't know who's playing tonight. But it's Monday night and football and all that. Yeah, I get it. I know who you are. Yeah. So anyway, all right. I will see you another time. Appreciate each and every one of you. And y'all have a very good day and good night. And all of the things that I will tell you to do. And I will see you on Tuesday. I'll be on Tuesday on Forbidden Knowledge. Then I'll see you other places. All right. Take a live. Love you. Love you all.